Did you know that in Mexico you can live comfortably, safely, and with a quality of life for less than it costs to survive in many cities around the world? From magical towns with a colonial soul to vibrant cities full of culture, food, and services, today I'm gonna show you the 5 cheapest cities to live in Mexico. And the best part, they're not what you imagine. If you're thinking about moving, if you're a digital nomad, retired, a student, or just looking for a new beginning, this video will open your eyes. Stay until the end because I'll not only show you the average prices for rent, food, and transportation, but also what no one tells you about living in each of these cities. And when you're done, tell me in the comments, would you move to any of these, or do you already live in one that should be on this list? Let's find out together. Aguascalientes, a name that sounds like tranquility, like a province, like a warm and orderly land. And when you arrive, that's exactly what you find. And much more, because this city, located in the heart of Mexico, has quietly become one of the best places in the country to live. Not only because of its price, but because of how much it offers for very little. Aguascalientes is the capital of its state, and although it's not a huge city, it has everything you need for a full, comfortable, and hassle-free life. There's no urban chaos here, no areas of permanent stress. There are wide avenues, clean neighborhoods, well-maintained parks, and a historic center that still retains its colonial charm. One of the biggest attractions is its cost of living, which is noticeably lower than that of cities like Guadalajara, Querétaro, or Mexico City. Living here doesn't require a huge budget. You can rent an apartment in a good area for less than 6,000 pesos a month. The food is another plus. Not only is it delicious and varied, tacos, gorditas, enchiladas, broths, and a la carte dishes, but it's also very cheap. A local breakfast with coffee and bread costs no more than 40 pesos. A full meal at a restaurant costs between 70 and 90 pesos. And if you cook at home, the local market and supermarkets offer affordable prices and fresh produce. In terms of services, Aguascalientes has one of the best urban infrastructures in the country. Public transportation is efficient, affordable, and well distributed. There are modern buses, well-connected routes, and even a growing bike lane system. Traffic is moderate, traffic jams are rare, and you can cross the city in less than 30 minutes during rush hour. For those who work from home, it's a paradise. Internet speeds are good. There are multiple co-working spaces, comfortable cafes with reliable Wi-Fi, and quiet residential areas that allow you to work without noise or distractions. Even basic services such as water, electricity, and gas remain at low rates compared to other states. And what about healthcare? Aguascalientes has a solid network of public and private hospitals. The Mexican Social Security Institute, IMSS, operates relatively efficiently, and there are accessible private clinics for general medical care. Plus, if you need tests or specialized care, you won't have to leave the city. Safety is another point that stands out. Aguascalientes has remained one of the safest cities in Mexico for years. Crime rates are low, and both locals and foreigners often report a general sense of peace when walking in streets, even at night. This, in a country where insecurity is a constant concern, makes a huge difference. But beyond the hard data, what makes Aguascalientes so appealing is its quality of life. It's not all about low prices. It's about how you live your day-to-day life. Here you can live an active, healthy life, connected to the essentials. You can walk to the market, greet your neighbors, spend the afternoon in a plaza, go to a local concert or an art exhibition without paying a fortune. And if culture is your thing, Aguascalientes has it all too. Museums, galleries, festivals, plays, and independent cinemas. Every year the San Marcos National Fair is held, considered the most important fair in the country, where tradition, art, music, food, and entertainment blend for several weeks. The local universities also attract young people from all over the region. There are quality public and private options, offering programs in engineering, medicine, humanities, design, and more. This creates a young and dynamic atmosphere without losing the family feel that characterizes the city. Plus, if you ever feel like you need a getaway, Aguascalientes is in a prime location. You can reach Guadalajara, León, Zacatecas, or Mexico City in just a few hours. Its international airport has regular flights to national and international destinations, making it ideal for digital nomads or frequent travelers. In short, Aguascalientes isn't just a cheap city. It's a well-organized, safe, culturally active city with a lifestyle many would envy. Perfect for those looking for a fresh start, financial stability, or simply a quieter life without sacrificing the comforts of modernity. Durango is one of those states that few consider when thinking about moving there, and that for those who know its true value is an advantage. Its capital, the city of Durango, is a hidden gem in northern Mexico, rich in history, filled with colonial architecture, with unique desert landscapes, and most importantly, a cost of living that is surprisingly low and fair. Located between mountains, halfway between the desert and the Sierra, Durango combines the best of urban life with the tranquility of a mid-sized city. It's not too big, but it's not small either. It has shopping malls, hospitals, universities, restaurants, parks, museums, everything you need to live well, but without the fast pace of large metropolises. Living in Durango is affordable in almost every sense. Rent, for example, is one of the lowest among state capitals in Mexico. You can find functional apartments in good areas for less than 4,500 pesos a month, and 2 or 3 bedroom houses from 6,000 pesos. There are quiet, accessible, and well-connected neighborhoods. Food is also a huge advantage. Durango has a strong culinary tradition based on local ingredients, meat, handmade tortillas, and northern flavor. Eating at traditional restaurants or fondas is inexpensive, and you can eat well without spending more than 250 pesos a day. Markets are plentiful, and supermarkets are affordable. But it's not just the price that attracts visitors, it's life itself. Here, people still greet each other on the streets. Neighbors know each other. The plazas are filled on Sundays. Patron saint festivals are celebrated with pride. And everything has a more human rhythm, one that allows you to breathe, walk, observe, and live without feeling chased by the clock. Durango is also ideal for those who love art, history, and culture. Its historic center is perfectly preserved. Walking through its cobblestone streets is like stepping into a period piece. In fact, Durango is known as the land of cinema because it has been the setting for hundreds of Old West movies. There are museums, film festivals, book fairs, and a strong local cultural life. And speaking of cinema, safety in Durango is also part of the appeal. While it's not free from problems, it is considered one of the quietest cities in the north of the country. The local police work with community outreach programs, and there is a constant effort to maintain order in the downtown area and residential areas. Education is another strong point. There are prestigious public universities like UJED, Juarez University of the State of Durango, and affordable private options in areas such as medicine, engineering, and humanities. There are also high-quality primary and secondary schools, both public and private. For those who work remotely, Durango offers good options. There's stable internet, growing co-working spaces, and an ideal environment for concentration. There are no unnecessary distractions, but plenty of quiet cafes, bookstores, and spaces where you can think or create calmly. If you're into writing, design, and programming, or starting a business from your laptop, this place offers inspiration and peace. And the weather? Durango has a semi-arid but moderate climate. Summers can be hot, but the nights are cool. Winters bring cold temperatures, but not extreme ones. And if you like nature, the Sierra Madre Occidental is less than an hour away. There you can hike among pine trees, see waterfalls, and completely disconnect from the world. The cost of basic services, water, electricity, gas, transportation is low. You can get around the city by bus or taxi without spending more than 30 pesos each way. Gasoline is also within the national average, and you don't need to travel long distances for your daily activities. Durango is in many ways a refuge, a place where you can still live with dignity, with peace, with room to dream. It's not the most popular place on social media, it's not the first place to appear in the rankings, but those who know it well know it's one of Mexico's best kept secrets. And the best part is that while others seek expensive living in crowded cities, you can start over here, spending less and gaining a better quality of life. Xalapa isn't just a city, it's a feeling. It's that blend of fog, music, coffee, and culture that envelops you as soon as you arrive. And although it doesn't usually appear at the top of tourist guides, those who discover it often stay longer than they expected. Because living in Xalapa is living in a state of the art, without costing you a fortune. Located in the heart of Veracruz, surrounded by mountains, Xalapa has something few cities in Mexico can offer. A bohemian atmosphere, nature, low prices, and a surprising cultural scene. It's the state capital, yes, but it doesn't feel like a metropolis. Here, you can feel a different rhythm. Slower, more human, deeper. Living in Xalapa is extremely affordable. You can rent a small apartment for less than 35,500 pesos a month, and for 5,000 you can find comfortable, well-located spaces close to the city center. The houses are also affordable, with gardens, terraces, and that homey feeling that costs 3 times as much in other cities. The market is wonderful. There are fruits, vegetables, coffee, cheese, bread. Everything fresh, local, and cheap. Eating on the street is also part of the Xalapa routine. Between Veracruz snacks, tamales, molotes, sweet bread, and coffee, you can have breakfast for 40 pesos and lunch for less than 100. The food here is not only delicious, it's part of the city's soul. And Xalapa has something special. It's an inspiring city. It has been the birthplace of artists, writers, musicians, and filmmakers. There are more bookstores than one would expect. There are free concerts, permanent exhibitions, active theaters. And above all, there are spaces to create, quiet cafes, cultural centers, corners where no one bothers you, and everyone seems to be writing, reading, or composing something. It's also a university city. The Universidad Veracruzana, one of the most important in the country, brings life and youth to the city. There are film series, art workshops, recitals, dance, book fairs, and a constant presence of young and creative people. This also makes Xalapa very open and diverse. And the weather? The weather. It rains here, and a lot. The fog descends in the mornings. The sky is changeable. But far from being a nuisance, the climate gives the city that mystical, almost European air. The colonial houses with tiled roofs, the humid gardens, the steamy cafes. Everything blends into a cozy, peaceful, and enveloping atmosphere. In terms of transportation, Xalapa is easy to get around. There are affordable and well-distributed public transportation routes. You can cross the city in 30 minutes, and many areas are walkable. You don't need a car to live here, although having one can make traveling to rural areas or nearby towns easier. Healthcare and education are accessible. There are MCES clinics, public and private hospitals with good care. Schools offer solid standards and plenty of extracurricular activities for children, teens, and adults. In addition, basic services are affordable. Water, electricity, internet, and gas are below the national average. And safety? Xalapa is a quiet city compared to others in the country. Some areas are busier than others, but in general, you can walk around without fear, especially in the downtown area and traditional neighborhoods. The people are friendly, warm, always willing to help or give you a sincere recommendation. Also, if nature is your thing, you've come to the right place. Just minutes from downtown, you can reach waterfalls, forests, ecological trails, and magical towns. Everything is close. Everything is green. Everything invites you to explore. In short, Xalapa is a city for living well with little, for enjoying leisurely, for reconnecting with the essentials. It's a place where the days feel long, where the coffee tastes better, and where prices don't force you to compromise on quality of life. And if you're looking for a place where you can work online, raise your children, start over, or simply live more slowly, Xalapa awaits you with open arms, the mist drifting down the mountains and a warm cup in your hands. Pachuca, the capital of the state of Hidalgo, is a city that has been many things over the years. A mining center, the birthplace of Mexican soccer, a windy city, a place of transit. But today, more and more people are discovering it for a different reason. Because it's one of the most accessible, peaceful, and strategically located cities to live in Mexico. Just an hour and a half from Mexico City, Pachuca offers what many are looking for: a more affordable, less chaotic, a much more manageable life. It's a city close enough to the hustle and bustle to have access to everything, and far enough away to not experience it all. The first thing that catches your eye upon arrival is its landscape. Surrounded by mountains with clean air, wide streets, and well-defined neighborhoods, Pachuca offers a blend of the traditional and the modern. Its downtown preserves the European architecture brought by the English, with historic buildings, quiet plazas, and a monumental clock that is a symbol of identity. In terms of housing, it's a city with options for all budgets. The overall cost of living is very low compared to other capital cities. Public transportation is cheap and functional. Food, especially in markets and street markets, is affordable. Eating out isn't a luxury, it's something you can do every day. 80 pesos will get you a good lunch, 30 pesos will get you breakfast at the market, and 100 pesos will get you dinner with coffee and dessert included. In addition, Pachuca is a city where everything is close by. You don't need to travel long distances to get from work to home, from the supermarket to the park, from the gym to the movies. You can cross it in less than half an hour, and that's priceless when it comes to quality of life. Less stress, less gas, more time. And although it's quiet, it's not boring. Pachuca has prestigious universities like the UAEH, Autonomous University of the State of Hidalgo, active cultural centers, soulful cafes, hidden bookstores, and a social life that revolves around local culture. Here, events aren't always announced on social media. They're heard, passed on by word of mouth, and discovered while walking through the plazas. The climate is also part of its charm. Pachuca is known as the beautiful windy one. And yes, the wind is constant, but it's also refreshing and revitalizing. Summers are mild, winters are cool, and the air is much cleaner than in many parts of the country's center. In terms of healthcare and education, the city is well equipped. There are public and private hospitals offering solid care, high-quality primary and secondary schools, and universities offering programs in high-demand areas. Furthermore, basic services, water, electricity, gas, and internet are reasonably priced and have good coverage. One of its greatest attractions is its strategic location. From Pachuca, you can visit magical towns like Real del Monte, Huasca del Campo, or Mineral del Chico in less than an hour. You can take a short trip to Mexico City, Puebla, Querétaro, or even the port of Veracruz without needing a large budget or long trips. Security has improved over the years. Although it is not without its problems, it has lower rates of violence than many in the center and north of the country. There's a constant police presence, neighborhood watch programs, and clearly defined areas where you can walk safely. Furthermore, Pachuca has something that few cities achieve: a unique identity. Between soccer, mining, murals, Pan de Past, and its history of English migration, the city exudes local pride. And it shows in its people. Friendly, hardworking, warm. There's no rush to impress anyone. There's just a desire to live well. In short, Pachuca is a great option if you're looking for an affordable, safe, culturally active, and conveniently located city. A place where you can start over, build, save, and find a healthy routine without the stress of traffic, violence, or overpriced housing. Living here costs less, but it's worth a lot. Tlaxcala is the smallest state in Mexico, and also one of the most underrated, so much so that for years it has become the subject of memes, jokes, and comments about its supposed invisibility. But behind all that, there is a reality that few know. Tlaxcala, the capital, is one of the most accessible, peaceful, and pleasant places to live in the entire country. And no, it's not a remote town. It's a vibrant city, steeped in history, clean, orderly, with good infrastructure, walkable streets, and one of the best value for money ratios you can find. Here you can live well, spend little, and enjoy every day without the pressure of overwhelming modernity. The city of Tlaxcala is surrounded by hills and green areas, giving it a natural, fresh, and panoramic atmosphere. Its historic center seems frozen in time. Well-preserved colonial facades, cobblestone streets, ancient temples, and plazas where the rhythm is set by the sound of bells, not traffic. Everything is on a human scale. Everything is walkable. One of its biggest draws is, without a doubt, the low cost of living. Eating out isn't a luxury either. For less than 100 pesos, you can have a full meal with typical dishes like mixiotes, tlatlapas, or mole Tlaxcala. And if you're into coffee or traditional bakeries, Tlaxcala has a culinary charm that captivates without breaking the bank. The city is ideal for families, young couples, older adults, or people seeking a simpler life. There are parks, cultural centers, free museums, open libraries, children's activities, and community workshops. Although it's not a metropolis, there's enough activity to make you feel alive, but never overwhelmed. Plus its proximity to Puebla, just 30 minutes away, and Mexico City, just over an hour away, gives it a strategic advantage. You can work or run errands in a big city and return every evening to the calm of Tlaxcala. Many digital nomads are finding it a perfect base. Affordable living, good internet connection, peace and accessibility to everything, and safety. Tlaxcala stands out for having low crime rates, especially compared to other areas in the center of the country. It's common to see families walking through the city center at night, markets open until late, and an atmosphere of community trust that has been lost elsewhere. Basic services are also affordable. Electricity, water, gas, garbage collection, transportation, all within budget. Additionally, there are public and private hospitals, clinics, affordable pharmacies, and access to healthcare without long waiting lists. For those looking to study or raise children, the city has schools with good academic standards, and public universities like the UATX, Autonomous University of Tlaxcala, which offers a wide variety of programs. Education here is accessible, and the quality of life fosters learning. The climate is temperate most of the year. There are cool mornings, sunny afternoons, and rain showers that refresh the atmosphere without being harsh. The view of La Malinche volcano adds an epic touch to many sunrises. And if you love nature, you have access to forests, mountains, and trails without leaving the state. But perhaps the most valuable thing about living in Tlaxcala isn't in the numbers or on the maps. It's in the pace of life, in the friendly people, in the greetings on the street, in the clean air, in the opportunity to go for a leisurely walk. Here, the simple is once again sufficient. Here, the everyday becomes valuable again. Tlaxcala doesn't need to prove anything. It doesn't seek to compete with the big cities. It simply offers a way of life that's no longer so easy to find. And if what you're looking for is tranquility, affordability, culture, security, and connection to the essentials, then yes, Tlaxcala exists. And it's waiting for you to discover it.